Namaste, Dandavat Pranam, by the instruction and grace of our spiritual master, Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Sripad Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj. We are here reading Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We're also paying our humble Dandavat Pranam to Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada for providing this wonderful commentary and translation of Bhagavatam. And following the guidance of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, we are praying to Srimati Radharani. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta told us that unless we can learn something about Radharani within Bhagavatam, then our study has been wasted if we cannot do that. So with this in mind, we are praying to Srimati Radharani. Yadi seva vanchitasya ma yasya kripaya vayam labema sarvam prapnumha prayojanam damni Sri Bhagavat Pade Krishna Sambandhi Sarvam Cha Yadina Jani Mahe Tutam Ashtadashasu Sahasreshu Shlokanam Bhagavat Oktishu Radharanimna Bindamatада Nishphalam Bhagavat Adhyayanam Radhikaya Kripam Vina Vyartasyat Sarva Parishrama. If we are cheated out of serving that personality whose mercy awards us everything we need, including residence in the Lord's holy Dham and all things connected to Krishna, and if we cannot understand or discover Radharani within the 18,000 verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, then our study of Srimad Bhagavatam has been pointless. Without the mercy of Srimati Radharani, all our efforts are in vain. So we are continuing our reading from Canto 5 today, the Creative Impetus, Chapter 1, the activities of Maharaj Priyavrata. Text 6. Yarhi Vavaharajam Saraja Putra Priyavrata Paramha Bhagavato Narhadasya Charno Pashebhayan Jasa Bhagata Paramartha Sattavo Brahma Satrina Dikshishyamano Vanitala Paripalana Yamanata Pravara Guna Ganaikanta Bhajannataya Sva Pitro Pamantrito Bhagavati Vasudeva Evaya Vadana Samadhi Yogena Samaveshita Shakala Karaka Kriya Kalapo Naiva Vyanandhadhyadhyapitad Apratyam Nat Vayam Tad Adikarana Atmano Nyasmad Asatopi Parabhavam Anviksha Shamanaha. Shukadev Goswami continued, My dear king, Prince Priyavrata was a great devotee because he sought the lotus feet of Nanda, his spiritual master, and thus achieved the highest perfection in transcendental knowledge. With advanced knowledge, he always engaged in discussing spiritual subjects and did not divert his attention to anything else. The prince's father then asked him to take charge of ruling the world. He tried to convince Priyavrata that this was his duty, as indicated in the revealed scriptures. Prince Priyavrata, however, was continuously practicing bhakti yoga by constantly remembering the Supreme Personality of Godhead, thus engaging all his senses in the service of the Lord. Therefore, although the order of his father could not be rejected, the prince did not welcome it. Thus, he very conscientiously raised the question of whether he might be diverted from devotional service by accepting the responsibility of ruling over the world. Purport. Srila Narottam Das Thakur has sung Chadiya Vaishnava Seva Nishtara Payeche Keba. Without serving the lotus feet of a pure Vaishnava or spiritual master, no one has ever attained perfect liberation from material bondage. Prince Priyavrata regularly served the lotus feet of Narada, and thus the prince perfectly understood transcendental subjects in truth, satat- satattva. The word satatva means that Priyavrata knew all the facts about the spirit soul, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the relationship between the spirit soul and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he also knew all about this material world and the relationship of the spirit soul and the Supreme Lord within the material world. Thus, the prince decided to engage himself only in rendering service to the Lord. When Priyavrata's father, Swayambhuva Manu, requested him to accept the responsibility of ruling over the world, he did not welcome the suggestion. This is the symptom of a great liberated devotee. Even though engaged in worldly affairs, he does not take pleasure in them, but remains always absorbed in the Lord's service. While thus serving the Lord, he deals externally with worldly affairs without being affected. For example, although he has no attraction for his children, he cares for them and educates them to become devotees. Similarly, he speaks to his wife with affectionate words, but he is not attracted to her. He is not attached to her. By rendering devotional service, a devotee acquires all the good qualities of the Supreme Lord. Lord Krishna had 16,000 wives, all of them very beautiful, and although he dealt with each of them as a beloved husband, he was not attracted or attached to any of them. In the same way, although a devotee may enter family life and act very affectionately toward his wife and children, he is never attached to these activities. This verse states that by serving the lotus feet of his spiritual master, Prince Priyavrata very soon attained the perfectional stage of Krishna consciousness. This is the only way to advance in spiritual life, as stated in the Vedas. Yasya deve para bhaktir, yatha deve tata guru, tasyaite katita yarta, prakashante mahatmana. If one has unflinching faith in the Supreme Lord and the spiritual master, the essence of all Vedic knowledge is revealed to him. Svetasvatra Upanishad 6.23. A devotee always thinks of the Lord continuously. While chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, the words Krishna and Hare immediately remind him of all the Lord's activities. Since his entire life is engaged in the service of the Lord, a devotee cannot forget the Lord at any time. Just as an ordinary man always engages his mind in material activities, a devotee always engages his mind in spiritual activities. This is called Brahmasatra, or meditating upon the Supreme Lord always. Prince Priyavrata was perfectly initiated into this practice by Sri Narada. Text 7. Ataha Bhagavan Adideva Itasya Guna Vishargasya Paribrim Hanan Ujjana Vyavashita Shakala Jagad Abhiprayatma Yonir Akila Nigama Nija Gana Parishveshtita Svabhavanad Avatatara. Sri Shukadev Goswami continued, the first created being and most powerful demigod in this universe is Lord Brahma, who is always responsible for developing universal affairs. Born directly from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he dedicates his activities to the welfare of the entire universe, for he knows the purpose of the universal creation. This supremely powerful Lord Brahma, accompanied by his associates and the personified Vedas, left his own abode in the highest planetary system and descended to the place of Prince Priyavrata's meditation. Purport. Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Self, Atma, is the source of everything, as explained in the Vedanta Sutra, Janmadasrita. Because Brahma was born directly from Lord Vishnu, he is called Atma Yoni. He is also called Bhagavan, although generally Bhagavan refers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu or Lord Krishna. Sometimes great personalities, such as demigods like Lord Brahma, Narada, or Lord Shiva, are also addressed as Bhagavan because they carry out the purpose of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Brahma is called Bhagavan because he is the secondary creator of the universe. He is always thinking of how to improve the situation of the conditioned souls who have come to the material world to enjoy material activities. For this reason, he disseminates the Vedic knowledge throughout the universe for everyone's guidance. Vedic knowledge is divided into two parts, Pravritti Marg and Nivritti Marg. Nivritti Marg is the path of negating sense enjoyment, and Pravritti Marg is the path by which the living entities are given a chance to enjoy and at the same time are directed in such a way that they can go back home, back to Godhead. Because ruling over this universe is a great responsibility, Brahma must force many Manus in different ages to take charge of universal affairs. Under each Manu, there are different kings who also execute the purpose of Lord Brahma. It is understood from previous explanations that the father of Dhruva Maharaj, King Uttanapad, ruled over the universe because his elder brother, Priyavrata, practiced austerity from the very beginning of life. Thus, up to the point of his Thus, up to the point of the Prachetas, the kings of the universe were all descendants of Uttanapad Maharaj. Since there were no suitable kings after the Prachetas, Swayambhuva Manu went to Gandhamadan hill to bring back his eldest son, Priyavrata, who is meditating there. Swayambhuva Manu requested Priyavrata to rule over the universe. When he refused, Lord Brahma descended from the supreme planetary system known as Satyaloka to request Priyavrata to accept the order. Lord Brahma did not come alone. He came with all great sages like Marichi, Atreya, and Vashishta to convince Priyavrata that it was necessary for him to follow the Vedic injunctions and accept the responsibility of ruling over the world. Lord Brahma also brought with him the personified Vedas, his constant associates. A significant word in this verse is Svabhavanat, indicating that Lord Brahma descended from his own abode. Every demigod has his own abode. Indra, the king of the demigods, has his own abode, as do Chandra, the lord of the moon planet, and Surya, the predominating deity of the sun planet. There are millions of demigods, and the stars and planets are their respective homes. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Yanti Deva Vrata Devan. Those who worship the demigods go to their different planetary systems. Lord Brahma's abode, the highest planetary system, is called Satyaloka, or sometimes Brahmaloka. Brahmaloka usually refers to the spiritual world. The abode of Lord Brahma is Satyaloka, but because Lord Brahma resides there, it is also sometimes called Brahmaloka. And thus ends our reading for today. We will continue from text 8 on Monday. Jai Vishnu Pad Paramahamsa Sripad Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Srila Prabhupada, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, Srila Acharya Dev Ki Jai. Jai Shri Rupa Nubala Guru Varga Ki Jai. Glory to the assembled devotees, all glory to the worldwide devotees, Sama Bhaktivedanta Vrinda Ki Jai. Jai Navaru Dham Ki Jai, Mayapur Dham Ki Jai, Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Ki Jai, Ganga Mai Yamuna Mai Ki Jai, Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai, Giri Govardhan Gupta Govardhan Dham Ki Jai, Sham Kund Radha Kund Ki Jai, Tulsi Devi Bhakti Devi Vrinda Devi Ki Jai.
Hare,
Jai Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jai
Hare,
Harinam Sankirtan Yagya ki jai, Scientific
Hare,
Sankirtan Yagya ki jai, Princeton
Hare,
Bhaktivedanta Institute ki jai, Sri Chaitanya
Hare,
Saraswat Mat ki jai.
Hare,
Nitai Gaura Premanandi Hari Hari Hari
Hare,
Bo.
Hare, Lord.
Hare Krishna Jai Srimati Uma Devi Dasi ki jai. Hari
Jai
Bo.
Gurudev. श्रीपाद कृष्ण केशव प्रभु जी की जय।
Jai Gurudev.
दंडवत प्रणाम।
Dhanavad Devi. Hari Bo.